Hi, this is Aminat. It's been a minute um, because I had to be quiet because there's so much stuff going on, and you also just don't want to be talked because everybody's talking, and it's okay to be quiet sometimes. And during that time, I really try to listen, and so there's a few things that have hit me. First of all, the death of RBG, Ruth Bader Ginsson, and initially I did not feel sad, and I saw the response, and not that it's tragic of her passing, but I wasn't sad. And the reason why is this woman was 87 years old, and I already knew how phenomenal she was, but the more I learn about her, I'm just struck with awe. So there was no sadness, but just, incredible job done. This little bitty woman who was so purposeful and committed and everything she stood for, and she was consistent, and she's such an inspiration. And she was 87 and battling cancer, and it's like, honey, you deserve to rest. That's the only thing. Thank you. You deserve to rest. Thank you what you've done. Thank you what you've done for us and the building blocks you've given us. And she was done. So I wasn't sad. And I also felt like she deserved to rest. And she didn't deserve to see what comes next. She did enough, and the rest is up to us. So starting off with that. And then I've been struck by, Breonna Taylor, Sanda we're still waiting. But just to see how justice plays out, if you want to call it that. And just to see how people use the law, not for justice, but to get what they want, to search the justice system for loopholes, if you will. And I've looked at the Breonna Taylor case, and so people do not, and again, I try to listen because I try to hear both sides. I know emotionally where I stand, but I try to understand and hear the other side. I really do. And so the message you get from Breonna Taylor is that her life did not matter. What mattered is that, the reckless endangerment of the neighbors. But her life in itself, she was just collateral damage, basically. And what message does that send? And so I listened to the Attorney General, and his stance is, well, I just portray the facts. And the facts is that her boyfriend fired a shot, and so they fired back. And so in that sense, it was justified shooting because they reacted to the boyfriend, and, and she was just collateral damage. That's the argument. If you so choose. If you so choose. Because how they got into the house and why he was firing the shot to begin with, you can leave that out if you so choose. And the Attorney General apparently left it out. I'm not a legal expert, but that's how I'm putting it together. So it's interesting to me about the choice that he made about what to present, about what to focus on, and then to say, well, these are just the facts. Those are some of the facts. But we know. But that's one way you can use this justice system. And so even people within the jury now are questioning it. And so I'm grateful for that. But it's interesting, isn't it? With Sanda, for 2 years we've been waiting. And now the lawyers want more, one more time, whatever. And I hear this is standard. I've heard this is standard. But you're also seeing, like, we're going to try and stretch this out. We're going to try and find loopholes for these boys. And so you're struck by this sense of unfairness because, you think there's a justice system, and it's a justice system that should mean something. But you're just struck by this sense of unfairness. And even with these presidential and vice presidential debates, what people choose to focus on both sides. I'm going to catch you and just focus on the bad things you've done or said. And you're just struck by the sense of unfairness. and how the people, the regular people, and how treating people in a just way, how somehow that seems to like fade into the background, and it's about who wins, who gets away with. And that's where we kind of stuck in right now. And it's not everything, but it's, and within this pandemic, it's painful. And so that's why I had to be quiet. And so that's why, again, I get back to, you know, RBG, the notorious RBG. And what a source of inspiration. Because it is possible to be committed and to do right by people regardless and in spite of. She showed us that. And I'm convinced that this period that we're going through now, this moral, whatever battle we're going through now, as far as getting back to our humanity and what are we fighting for, whether it's about health or about how we relate to each other and treat each other, we have those beacons like RBG that inspire us. And so hold on to that. The unfairness is painful, and just take a step back and listen and watch and say, that's interesting. But thank God for people like RBG, and there's others like her. And so rather than focusing on the disappointment and the frustration, which is there, even for me, I can look back at an RBG. I look back at a Chadwick Boseman, and say thank you, and you hold on to that and you draw strength from that. And in our own little bitty ways, you try to do right by people, regardless of the unfairness. So hang in there. These elections are coming up. We're going to make it through. But hold on to the good stuff. Have a great day.